Good night and welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. Health Minister Fernando Ruiz Gomez announced that they have not yet made any decision regarding the option of not extending the sanitary emergency in the country.
The official assured through a press release that there are still several considerations that they are being taken into account to end the COVID emergency, such as the reduction of infection and deaths due to COVID-19. However, so far, that has been analyzed in something called endemic channel, which is to find a point where mortality is similar to what it was previously.
Sin embargo, es necesario todavía.
It is necessary to evaluate several issues such as how long we are going to be in this endemic channel, the acceptable threshold for not having a sanitary emergency declaration, and also the global context. At the moment, there are still countries that maintain the health emergency, given that the World Health Organization has not given indication that it is close to limiting it. Globally, we are still at the pandemic level, so it is something that we are still analyzing with the INS, but there is still no decision on the matter.
Regarding the measure related to sanitary emergency, especially social, economic, and benefits to the population, the minister pointed out that the government has been analyzing the impact of lifting the emergency because the entire legal framework is still very much based on an emergency. Let's remember that currently our department maintains a low rate of reported COVID cases. Even the ICU occupancy has remained at 0% for weeks, just evidencing the reduction of the impact of COVID-19 in the island.
A few days before the beginning of Easter week, which brings it on one of the longest holiday seasons of the year, the National Police delivers safety recommendations for all citizens.
Easter week is a time for fun and rest for many people in the country. Regarding these Easter vacations, the National Police provided safety recommendations for tourists and residents.
If you are going to be absent from your home, remember to leave the doors and windows well closed, as well as recommend the house to a trusted person to avoid being a victim of theft. During this visit time to the different churches, it is important to have always in sight our items such as cell phones, purses, or money. Most importantly, be aware of our children in the crowds. If you are going to buy a ticket to the island of San Andres, it is important to verify that the website where you will make the payment is a reliable place.
The authorities are expecting the arrival of hundreds of tourists for the main vacation week to the islands. For this reason, they will deploy different strategies to ensure public safety.
71,060 people have been vaccinated to date on San Andres, a significant figure for the island. Health authorities expect the numbers to increase even more in order to protect the entire population from COVID-19.
COVID-19 vaccination coordinator Lina Navarro informed that the island of San Andres has biological available to continue increasing the number of people vaccinated against coronavirus in the department.
We extend an invitation to the community to acquire their COVID vaccination dose. We remind you that we have the following biologicals available. First and second dose of Sinovac for children from 3 to 11 years old. We have first and second dose of Moderna for young people from 12 to 17 years old. We have first dose of the Janssen biological for young people from 18 years old. We also have available first, second, and booster dose of Pfizer for pregnant women. It is important to inform the community that we have a booster dose available for young people from 12 to 17 years old, 4 months after they have taken their second dose.
The hours of service are flexible and designed conveniently for the community of the island. Vaccination service against COVID-19 is available until Sunday.
Let's remember that it is important that young people acquire and complete their COVID vaccination doses. We are available from Mondays through Sundays in the hospital tent. Mondays to Fridays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays, we are there from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.
71,060 people have been vaccinated today. This was announced by the COVID-19 vaccination coordinator.
To date, we have a total of 71,060 people vaccinated. First dose is 28,221, second dose is 25,913, single doses we have applied 800, and booster doses we have applied 15,311.
This 19, 20, and 21st of April, the 25th version of the National Meeting of Chambers of Commerce will take place. Jennifer Yepes spoke about it.
This will be a meeting that brings together the 57 Chamber of Commerce in the country in order to continue promoting competitiveness and regional development through the various Chamber of Commerce on issues of formalization, entrepreneurship, and business innovation.
This April 19, 28th, 21st, for the promotion of tourism, we will have the 25th version of meetings of Chambers of Commerce in the department. For us, it is important to promote these meetings because we know that it moves the economy, not only with hotels and restaurants, but it moves the commerce of the department. We will have about 400 people belonging to the 57 Chambers of Commerce in the country.
Teleislas News will be attentive to the exact place and time where this meeting will take place.
Starting tomorrow, the National Geographic expedition hopes to document and achieve an in-depth study of the Sea of Seven Colors.
National Geographic, with its group of scientists and the latest technology, will start the expedition of the Sea of Seven Colors, which will be documented. With this, they hope to contribute to the conservation of the Sea Flower Biosphere Reserve.
As National Geographic, we are very happy to be in San Andres in the Sea Flower Biosphere Reserve to make an unprecedented underwater expedition. In Surinela, we have a very complete team of scientists and documentarians who will work with local scientists to study this area like never before. We have the latest technology, including a submarine that goes down to 400 meters deep, depth cameras that go down to 7,000 meters. We also have expert divers who can evaluate the ecosystems and the state of health of the species living in this area. Hopefully, this will help Coralina and the archipelago to make the best decisions and thus conserve this natural wonder they have here.
National Geographic expedition members will be studying the Sea Flower Biosphere Reserve for 14 days.
On April 7th, the ship Argo will set sail, which is the scientific platform that we are going to use, and we will be back on April 28th, hopefully with good results of all the scientific studies that we will be doing, and also with good images for the National Geographic documentary that we are making about the Colombian seas and about the effort that they are making to protect more marine areas.
This expedition is with the purpose of achieving scientific basis for the protection of the Sea Flower Biosphere Reserve.
And a new comprehensive care model is to be implemented in the Departmental Social State Enterprise Hospital. The objective of this new model will be to improve the provision of health services and also to improve communications between the user and the health service.
The health service provider Nueva EPS is intensive training on the new healthcare model of the departmental hospital. This took place on April 4th and 5th of this present year, where its main objective is to improve the quality of service and activate a interdisciplinary group that will maintain constant attention to the user, thus avoiding that the processes that already are not interrupted and a direction is followed with the information provided between the user and the health service provider.
What is this doctor going to do? The doctor is going to have, let's say, 200 patients under his care. He's going to have a that shows the level of risk according to the patient's pathology. Initially, he will manage those with highest risks, reduce the risk of death, or the risk of ending up with another pathology. For example, those with diabetes and hypertension. These patients will have their risk managed so that they do not develop kidney disease. When this first group is finished with, the medium risk group follows, which may not have been attended to for 3 years. Then an assistant is assigned to call the patients.
In this activity, the aim was to stipulate the responsibilities of general practitioners and nursing professionals. Basically, it is to identify the population and the risk and manage. They would not be able to wait for the patient to go to the Departmental Social State Enterprise, but for the enterprise to go to the patient. So it is not necessary for complementary services, but to manage the risk to prevent diseases.
At this time, we continue with Millicent O'Neill and the news of the municipality of Old Providence, Santa Catalina.
Good evening to everyone. This is the most important information from Providence, Santa Catalina. Laura from Lovers Lane that will once again unite the two has already begun.
Yesterday, the works at the Lovers Lane Bridge were started with the placement of the floor in plastic wood, which will be anchored down in the next few days. Teleislas News spoke with the community concerning what they think about this new step to complete this great project.
Well, great thing, because I lift up, I want to do the bottom, and I really need the puente, because when they open up the tourism business without the puente, away. So I the part number one.
I feel like the community should wait and finish it, because maybe not screwed up and maybe can slide and or accident.
Something design should have tried to favor more the elderly who may have to cross the bridge daily.
About the floor is okay, because this bridge, without that is an impact, not that somebody can and an ability. When you think old lady go and cross the bridge up at a height, with how much when you say going on, I don't think about put up a on it.
For me, it's a duty. But what worries me is that at this point, they will try to pass a motorcycle and maybe a car. Then it will not, because I see a very powerful road. This implies that the unruly will try to pass their motorcycle or something like Catalina, and this is a pedestrian pathway.
Anchoring of the floor is expected to be completed during the first days of May.
And in recent days, the Central Baptist Church celebrated 132 years of having been founded on the island of Old Providence, providing social service to the community and sharing the gospel.
With drama, songs, special guests, the Central Baptist Church celebrated its 132nd anniversary since its founding in 1890, a congregation that has influenced in many ways since its beginnings.
This started with Simon Howard Senior, and then after him came Pastor Simon Howard Jr. And well, in that family came down until this moment, 12, 13 pastors, and out of that, 2 of them is not Howard. Most all of them was true, because we take it as a responsibility to be leader in the community. We sense of helping in service.
Various churches can trace their origin to the Central Baptist Church, even outside of Providence.
Well, this church started, it came up the first church that is in Baton now, and we came around here and that well, we started some other churches, like the church in Salt Creek was our mission, and they become a church now in Salt Creek. Then the church in town that by Pastor Naib, this church also, and the church in Rocky Point in New Jerusalem was under this church for to get them.
Even a Catholic church came out of this emblematic Baptist church.
2 brothers that was pastors, one stayed with the church and one went to the town and started the church. At first, well, it was a Baptist church, but they used the heading from the Catholic church, then separated this one, and after all, it come to the Catholic church in the town.
In spite of the destruction, the hurricane members of the congregation pressed forward resiliently to attend service and faithfully continue the work started by their father, Pastor Simon Howard Sr., 132 years ago.
This is all the information we have for tonight for the section of Old Providence and Catalina. Continues another Teleislas News. Good night.